What's going on, guys? Long time no see. Hope you all are staying safe, staying inside, washing your hands and whatnot, and staying away from each other, because of the pandemic and all. So, a little bit of an update. I've had time on my hands, so I thought I would throw this video together real quick and update you all on what's going on, what's changed. I have good and bad news. Good news for me, bad news, sort of bad news for the channel. Not really, but sort of. So let's go. My last video, I'll recap what went on. As I showed you all, I said that I'd made up my mind and my decision had been made. And I posted the video that I was going to enlist. Now, I put in, me going to a recruiter, getting all my stuff transferred from officer recruiter, me filling out an entire packet, and me ready to go. So that was all you all saw. That was what I was going to do. And let's go to this point, this being the first week of April. So between now and then, a lot has happened. After I posted that video, you all were the first to know about that decision that I had made. So I didn't tell my friends or family up until after that video. So once I started getting a lot of negative feedback from you all that had served previously, and I think I've spoken in the comments with some of you all, that I wasn't ready to go back to school, because I didn't have the money, and the programs that I wanted to get into, I probably couldn't get into, yada, yada, yada. So once that happened, I started telling my friends that had previously served as well, I'm probably going to enlist, try to go to the officer route after I enlist. They were like, you probably don't want to do that. And these are people that I know very well that know me. And they're like, you don't want to do that. I promise you don't want to do that. So then I started taking it seriously, like, maybe I'm making a wrong decision here. What other options do I have? That in my mind, I'm like, I have nothing. Like, I have a degree that I can't get a job with. I can't get a job. I want to go to the military. Military won't accept me. What am I going to do? So, backstory, those of you all that know me might know this, but when I started college almost 5 years ago, I started as a nursing major. I've always wanted to be a physician, really, but, I've at least wanted to be a nurse. So I wasn't ready when I started college at all. I was failing out all my classes when I started college. So when I graduated, my GPA was like 3.2. So my GPA wasn't very competitive if I'm even trying to go to nursing school after, my degree. And I think somewhere in one of these videos, I've told you all that I applied to Vanderbilt's nurse practitioner program for non-nursing majors, to go get your RN and then go straight to your master's. So besides that, I've always wanted to be a nurse. So I'm like, all right, well, I want to be a nurse, but I really don't think that I can get into a bachelor's program because I have a 3.2 GPA. I've been in classes, I'm a biology minor. I've been in classes with all these people that are either pre-med or nursing. They have like 3.7, 3.8. They're in honor societies, yada, yada, yada. On paper, academically, I can compete with these individuals, but on paper, I can't because I messed around all my freshman year. I don't, on paper, I cannot compete with these people. I'm like, all right, this was a month ago, mind you. So I go from enlistment. So let's put it in sequence. I'm going to enlist. I get a lot of negative feedback. So I decide, you know what? I'm not going to enlist. I'm going to try to do something that I actually want to do, and that's to be a nurse. Now, this was last month. This was probably 30 or 40 days ago. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to try to apply to associate degree, like nursing programs. So RN programs that are 2-year. Those of you that aren't familiar, there's 2-year and 4-year RNs. So I'm going to go to a community college. So I started applying to community colleges. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll probably get accepted to one of these. I started applying to these, and then I'm realizing, like, okay, well, I'm not going to sell myself short at least. What is the harm other than, spending a couple $100 applying to the bachelor's programs, the accelerated bachelor's programs, because I already have a degree. So I'm like, okay, because my family's like, it's good that you want to be a nurse, but going from your bachelor's back to your associates and spending, a year and a half, 2 years doing that, at least try. This is what my family told me, and obviously I should have realized. Apply at least to the bachelor's programs, the accelerated bachelor's programs. I'm like, okay. So I started applying to all these programs. Well, the schools themselves first, you have to apply to the schools, and then you apply to the nursing program. So I applied to all these schools, you know, I get into the schools themselves, and then I start applying to the nursing programs. But you have to apply to the nursing programs. There's an entrance exam. There's 2 of them, the HESIE2, and then there's the TEAS, which is what I took. So the top 2 schools that I wanted to get into was Tennessee Tech, which is where I graduated from, and ETSU, which is, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's East Tennessee State University, which is in Johnson City, which is where I was born. So, and both my parents went there and graduated from there. So I'm like, okay, well, these are my top 2 schools, and the deadline, actually, serendipitously, it was a godsend, really, that the deadline was after I took the test, but they extended the deadline for applications for this coming summer at ETSU for 15 days. So I took the test, and I'm actually going to do a video on that test, but I took the test, you know, I thought I did okay, but then I got my results back, and I scored like top 1%, meaning I scored better than 99% of other people that took that test. So I studied really hard for that test, obviously. So once I got those results back, I was pretty ecstatic. I was like, I might have a chance. I really might have a chance. So I send those scores to ETSU first, because that's the school that took that test. And, you know, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, hopefully I'll hear back from them soon. The next day, I get accepted to ETSU's nursing program. I was dumbfounded. Like, I've never been accepted to anything that quickly, more or less the nursing school that I thought that I didn't even have a chance to get into. So that's awesome. Like, that's completely amazing. So that's where I'm at now. So I kind of wanted to update you all that this has happened. This happened like 3 weeks ago that I got accepted. And now I'm in the works of trying to get everything sorted out, flattened out, get registered for my classes and whatnot. Now, with all that being said, all of you that are updated, what does that mean for this channel itself? This is where the bad news comes in. I tried to, once I got accepted, do, like some of you all suggested, I tried to do ROTC. Now, the program that I got accepted into is a 18-month program. Meaning that I do summer, fall, spring, summer, fall. So 5 semesters. I talked to the ROTC people over there. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this program, the accelerator program. They're like, well, it's not long enough, 1, for you to do ROTC, and 2, we need your at least 30 days of your summer to do training. Well, I'm taking 12 hours this summer. I can't really do that. I was faced with 2 options. First option is, say, hell with ROTC. You know, I'll just I'll just commission afterwards as a nurse, as a specialty, and, you know, get loan forgiveness, which is what I'm going to do. But my other option was, okay, I could do the 2-year route, which is 24 months, which is 6 months longer than the accelerated program, and I start 6 months later in August from May, 3 months later, whatever. So I start later and I graduate later. But I would get a monthly stipend and they would pay for my school. So me being me, I'm like, okay, that sounds good, but I want to be a nurse now. so I'm not going to do that. So for the channel, it's going to switch from military stuff to nursing stuff. Obviously, eventually I'll get into, you know, the Air Force here in over a year and a half, so 2 years probably from now. For those of you all that have subscribed to my military stuff, and it's all posted on this channel. Thank you. Awesome. You guys have been awesome for, you know, the comments, the feedback, the views, the subscriptions. You guys have killed it. Like, I have another channel that I do car stuff on sometimes, and the channel's terrible. Like, nobody ever subscribes. I hardly get views. You guys watch my stuff. You actually listen and you actually respond. You guys are a great fan base, if you want to call it a fan base. You guys are awesome. That's all I have to say about that. So I will obviously get back to the military stuff once I get into the military, but for now, I'm going to be making videos pretty much strictly on nursing. I might hint at, you know, some Air Force stuff now and then, but pretty much my journey is what the rest of this, until I get in to the military, is going to be about. It's going to be about nursing tests. It's going to be about clinicals. It's going to be about all of that. I'm very excited you know, I hope you guys are excited for me, and I apologize that, you know, I'm kind of switching it up and doing this because that's what I'm doing now. But you know, I just wanted to forewarn you all and, you know, give you an update on what's going on. But let me know what you guys think, if you guys, you know, or what you guys are doing, and you know, how your military process has been going. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And you know, thank you guys for supporting me, and keep watching if you want, you know, if you guys are interested. But I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up because I'm going to start making videos on that nursing test, and, you know, just from henceforth it's going to be like it was, just with a different subject. Stay safe, guys. Stay away from each other. Wash your hands, and catch you next time.